In this community. My why is simply that they deserve a quality education in order for them to be equipped for the 21st century. And so that's what I said yes to. And I jokingly say to our leadership team, we said yes to the difficult. That's what we have done. So I applaud each one of you because all of you are already exhibiting something I'm going to cover at the end of my session. And that's the mindset to make a difference for children. So thank you for being here. We have a focus on two things. One, real quickly, high school people that are in the audience, please raise your hands. High school. Okay. The reason that that's important is high school is not making a shift. This is 1/8, but they are going to be recipients of what this change is going to make. So the idea of high school people being here to have this dialogue around this, we believe, is critical. So again, thank you for being here. The next step, I'd like each one of you at your tables to take a moment, and I want you to spend some time looking at the pillars. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to revisit those. Again, I'm modeling something candidly. Every meeting that begins in this district, departmental, operational, academic, should begin with a review of the pillars. So again, let's take about 3 minutes, look at the pillars, get real clarity at your table about what each one of those means. There was something called the National Middle School Association. Several years ago, they changed the name of that, and they changed it because they recognized that nationally there are lots of challenges with middle schools. Even in very affluent districts, parents still get nervous about the term middle school. I was in Clayton, so I know they still got nervous. But what they recognize is that the structure itself had challenges, but the research-based practices that were being done were effective. And so the National Middle School Association has now become a National Middle Level Association. And therefore, they're still advocating the same instructional strategies as what would have occurred in a middle school, but in a different structure, because that level child does learn a certain kind of way. So I want to begin by just talking about a couple of things, and I'm going to revisit my notes now and then just to be sure I don't get off track. The first thing I wanted to talk about is real quickly the benefits to children. I've said this in many presentations. Most of you don't come to board meetings, so that's why I generally end up saying most of these things. Benefits to children are very specific. The research has shown that children who come through a 1-8 or a K-8 model, number one, those children tend to feel safer. Bullying tends to have dropped somewhat. They tend to have longer relationships with the adults in the building and longer relationships with a group of adults because they're in that same space with the adults over a long period of time. They tend to end up going to 9th grade performing higher than if they come from a regular 6th, 7th, and 8th grade configuration. Now, at a certain point, of course, that advantage ceases to be as pronounced because at that point, of course, it's the power of the adults or the high school teachers. But all of this model is designed to lay a better foundation. How is it beneficial for families? Families thrive on relationship. The longer that a set of parents works with a group of teachers, the stronger the relationship is. By doing this, we eliminate a transition because many times parents end up ceasing to be as active in school in the life of their children after 5th grade because now they've gone to the middle school, or after 6th grade because they're now gone. By the child being in the same space for 8 years, it doesn't give parents that out. It's not an out because the process is still going. Again, relationships last longer with teachers as the same result. So those are two of those bigger benefits. Those are two of the bigger benefits. The last benefit, those are children themselves around this idea of relationships. A magic space is where you can have older children truly tutoring younger children, mentoring younger children, working with them, because one of the things about peer tutoring is that if a child tutors a younger child, the older child has to develop a deeper understanding of the material in order to tutor the younger child. So these are all the reasons why this model makes some sense to go to. So that's the overview before we dive into the slides. I've talked before about the whole concept of middle school. Bottom line is, Elemiddle schools, the bottom line is this is going to be consistency across 5 schools. And during the sessions today, we're going to hit a lot of those logistics and answer those questions about how we're going to be doing configuration. But we look across the district. It's interesting. I was having a conversation with a colleague this morning about consistency across districts. Research-based strategies. Elementary grades 1 through 6 still use best practices for their grade level. Grades 7 and 8 use best practices for middle level education. District-wide curriculum, that's what's just been completed in June. And even though individual teachers may work on different ways of presenting, the content of what we're sharing across the scale, across the district will be the same standard-based. And then finally, what I would point out in the yellow box, not next year, not in the next 2 years, but I want you to imagine 5 or 6 years out. We have 5 elemental schools, and each one may have its own theme. This particular one may be a focus on marine biology, and this particular one may be a focus on STEM. We have to still figure that out. The first thing we do is we lay out the 5 schools, get them consistent, and then over a period of time, principals and staff can come together and say, what are our interests? Where do we feel passionate? And then imagine in the district, parents being able to say, I want my child to go there, and I want my child to go there, which will counter the whole conversation about charter schools being the only place you can have choice. That's broader vision. And I'm only speaking to you, not that we're going to do that in 2 years, but to let you know where we're trying to go. The overall model, then, is that we will have brand new early learning center, which is going to begin constructed this year, scheduled to open in 2019-20. It combines early learning center, early childhood rather, with kindergarten. Eliminates a transition there, makes that more seamless. Those children will then go into one of 5 elemental schools, and then those consistent elemental schools will prepare them for the high school. High school then equips them through career pathways, other opportunities, internships, so that when they graduate, not if they graduate, when they graduate, they may hit college, that's fine. They may do some kind of internship and start into the workforce, that's fine. They may end up taking an alternative approach such as the military. All of those are options. And I'll tell you now, this region has tons of jobs now, and we'll have more in the future. We can project out to 2024 on what careers are going to really be available in the region and even in the state. We align high school to be sure that we are equipping our students when they leave to be ready if they want to do college, or if they don't need to do that to hit another career, because no matter what they do, it's going to take the same critical thinking, same communication skills, same writing skills. It's going to take it all. It's just a matter of to what degree. But they will need all those skills. So this is the broader vision. Okay, stop talking for a minute. Please take a moment, turn to your people at your table, and just reflect on what you heard the last 5 minutes. Please do that. Organizer, because now we start diving into the work of the next 2 days, so you can use it right on back front. We'll get more copies if we need to. Today is all about the very pragmatic. When you finish today, there are going to be some very specific operational questions you will have answers to. And then tomorrow we dive into the book more around the theory. But we want to be sure we answer some very specific questions for you today around some very specific topics. So the first thing we want to do is talk about instructional practice. And here's what I know you're concerned about. What does all this mean to me? That's real world. I'm going to talk to you about what's going to change and what's not going to change related to instructional practice. The next thing we'll talk about is logistics. Those are those systems and processes that support us day to day. What's going to change, what's not going to change in that category. And then finally, we're going to talk about mindset. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Anyone here done any reading around mindsets? I need somebody to volunteer real quickly. You don't count, right? I need somebody to remind me real quickly, what is a fixed mindset? Was the mic kind of cutting out? Where is it? Oh. Who's going to say yes? Fixed mindset. Who can real quickly tell us what that is? Fixed mindset.
Someone with a fixed mindset is someone who's set in their ways. and they're not open to change.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And a literal belief sometimes that this is as good as I can get. This is as good as I can get. I'm as smart as I can be. And now, growth mindset, who else would like to share that?
A person that has a growth mindset is one who's open to change, to learn, and is not afraid to, just understand something and see someone else's point of view.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll unpack these, but we're going to talk about these in the order I gave it to you. First round, instructional practice. Already shared with you, this is the sheet. We're going to cover instructional practice first. We're going to talk first about what does not change. I have a list of a number of factors that are part of instructional. There's some specific things that I made notes about, and I may reference some of that. But the bottom line is, and this is the first one around employment, because we're hearing a lot of that. If you are properly certified and an effective teacher, you have a job. Because there are people who are going, oh my God, I'm going to get fired, I'm going to leave. No, if you are properly certified and an effective teacher, you have a job. For the record, our projected enrollment for next year is 260 more students, roughly. We have 100 students coming back for the transition program. They'll be at the high school. Another 50 new students or returning students are going to be at the 7th and 8th grade center. So we don't have fewer children, we're going to have more children. And then in the next year, in the 1920 school year, there'll probably be another 60 children coming back. So I repeat, our enrollment is doing what it's doing, and that includes both returning students and what's called birth rate projections, where you can identify 5 years down the road how many children you're going to have to serve. That helps you with your staffing and your planning. We won't have less children, we're going to have more. So again, if you are effective and appropriately certified, or if we need to support you in getting certified because of a change made we want to make, we want to do that. So you have a job. That's real critical. Second, instructional strategies for elementary students. Same research-based practices that are identified that we've been talking about in our response intervention. We know what are effective practices. Research shows that. We will continue to do those in our response intervention model. We're going to do what you're already doing. When you identify, for example, this particular group of young people is struggling with a concept, and you go into your guided practice, you pull those students together around a kidney-shaped table, and you talk to them about what they specifically need. Those practices aren't going to change. So instructional practices related to both on the middle level and as opposed to elementary, those practices themselves won't be changing. We will still be looking for learning targets on the wall. Learning targets that are written, that really get at the heart of the lesson to be taught, but written in child-friendly language so that children understand it. We'll still be listening for as you teach, referencing that learning target, ending your summary of the lesson with that learning target, asking students, why did we do what we did today? That's not going to change. All of those fundamental instructional strategies that we have been emphasizing throughout our work over the last 4 years will be consistent. School-wide norms, PBIS, that's still going to be a necessity. That's not going to change. We still operate with school-wide first and figure out what a classroom is going to be like. And then what we're working on, and this is on one again, is how the district at our level can support you in developing those systems. There is a continuous focus on literacy. Trauma-informed practice is still going to be a focus. Working on social emotional development because our children need that. So when we implement, as we flush out the RTI model, combined response intervention with social emotional learning, that's ongoing. Why? Because our children are still going to need that. Wraparound services. We are evaluating who they are, what they do well, who needs to go, who else we need to recruit, but they will still continue to be a part of us. That's not going to be a change. And then in terms of our non-core, and I say non-traditional core, because I've been told by some teachers, we use phrases like elected, or what's the other word we use here? Encore. It But I don't want to communicate to any staff or communicate to any child that this content in this content area, that teacher is less than a teacher, or that content is less. So those are the things that's not going to change. Those things are not going to change. And let that sink for a minute. Logistics. Under logistics, there will be quite a few changes, which is one of the reasons we're sitting here. We know that their buildings are going to be changing in the sense that we're going to be moving kindergarten students from Bell North, shifting them to the new center, and then making Bell North become a 5th Elemiddle school. We know that the configuration, of course, in those schools is going to go from being 1-6 to 1-8, so that's a big change. You're going to get details today about assignment of staff, because the truth of the matter is we'll have 5 schools at that level where we now have 4. And the real purpose of this is we need to have 5 schools that have equity. We can't have one school have all of the veteran teachers. We can't have one school have all of the teachers who are new to the system. And again, Phil is going to cover a lot of that because this even boils down to our title funds. Title takes a look and says, when I look at how many children are in this building, do they have equitable access to resources the same as the other buildings do? So there's going to be some change around that. And let me say this as well. You'll get the slide, you're going to get all my notes. Just so you know, but I know if you want to do your own writing, but you're going to get all of this at the end today. So you'll have my script, but you'll also have slides to think about. But again, next thing, allocate attendance zones for each school. By the middle of this year, the board will have approved a process and so we can in turn have community engagement and talk about what it means to rezone attendance. Because candidly, when we open Bell North again, that's going to impact schools that have some students who really live in that attendance area. And historically, we've had for some reason a couple of pockets throughout the district where children are not going to the place they ought to be going to. So all of that gets corrected, so there is going to be that change in terms of literal attendance boundaries. There's going to be more intentional vertical planning going on, meaning if you've got teachers in 1-8, there's no reason why there can be more collaboration about what the curriculum looks like grades 1 through 8. We already know we're going to be working later this week. 4 through 8 was identified to be a part of this today. Grades 1 through 3 are going to be planning together later in their own version of this, and then kindergarten, early childhood are. We're going to intentionally be doing more of that because there has to be consistency up and down the scale. Upper grade teachers that are 1-8, you may be asked to do some modeling for the younger teachers and younger students because there are always students who need acceleration. And one of the easiest ways to accelerate a child is to have someone either allow them to attend a class or teaching in a higher grade, or have that teacher to come down and do some paired work with somebody teaching in the lower grade. So there will be more intentionality around that as well. The Elemiddle model focuses on research-based middle school, middle-level research, I should say, identifies the fact that all children grades 7 and 8 really should have an access to a club, meaning every child should belong to a club. And every child should be able to play a sport. So we will be working intentionally to be sure those kinds of experiences are certainly available for 7 through 8. Can happen for every child, but we want to be sure we focus really candidly, because some classify middle grades as 5th through 8. Be sure we begin off with those kinds of opportunities for all the children. So there's going to be another change. So I'll pause for a minute. Again, giving you overview because others are going to come back with some specifics. Please, again, at your tables, reflect on what I have just shared around those 2 particular aspects, changes you heard, changes that are going to occur, things that are not going to change. So please take a moment and talk. Just 2 pieces I want to mention to you, and this again is around change. we'll be working, and then actually this becomes a part of the work you're going to do. When you shift to a 1-8 model, you're basically looking at a breakout of grades like 1 through 4 and 5 through 8. So the simple way to do it, and what we observed in 3 of the schools we went to when we visited Chicago, is that you designate almost like upper school and lower school within buildings. So there'll be that kind of conversation going on as we take a look at the spaces we have and how that configuration can take place. That is currently best practice, but I'll be candid. Dr. David Huff, who is a leading researcher around Elemiddle and actually a resident of Missouri, points out that more innovative places actually go for allowing them to mix, because you know what? Families are mixed. Families have multi-age mix. But we recognize that because there are some things we want to be sure people are comfortable with in the community, we want to initially pursue breaking out the separation within the building. We'll figure out how to do those things. Something as pragmatic as schools' lunch schedules. There have to be some dialogue done around how that configuration is going to be done. Who you combine, where and when, and how that's going to work. And then finally, buses. There are lots of ways to go at this. The simplest way, because there were some people who have expressed concern about, well, oh my God, the older children are going to be bullying the younger children. Can we move with it in Remington traditional? The old one said, we don't want to have anything to do with the buildings. So they weren't seeking them out. But the truth of the matter is, yes, we could manage it. We could manage it, maybe assign younger children one bus and older children to another. All of those things are manageable. Those are not barriers. Those are manageable. But these are the kinds of changes we can expect. These are the kind of changes both schools will be working on and then central office will be working on as well. So I wanted to close with those logistics because, candidly, those are just very foundational kinds of things that have to be done that may be influenced some by learning theory, but also more about behaviors and so forth. So those are those particular areas. The last phase is mindset. 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 The first statement of it says, I can learn this. This is what it sounds like when you have a growth mindset. I can figure out how to do this. I have the capacity to do this. I can work with others to get this done. That's what it sounds like. And I must tell you, unless we have this mindset, this is going to be challenging to do. But this mindset, the very fact that each one of you is sitting here today tells me you got this. You came out to here and start dialogue. Doesn't mean your colleagues don't have it. It just means that we know you do have it. So I'm glad to see each one of you because you self-selected. So this is the kind of focus we have to have around how we can get this done. This is the kind of focus we can have, a must-have on how we can get this done. And what's interesting about this is we'll be doing more work with PD around this year. It gets to this idea of I'm successful because I'm smart versus I'm successful because I work hard. Any of you follow Jeff Howard's efficacy work? I think maybe 15, 20 years ago, literature, Jeff Howard, efficacy theory. He used the phrase, and repeat after me, smart is not something you are.
Smart is not something you are.
So let's try it again. Smart is not something you are.
Smart is not something you are.
Smart is something you get.
Smart is something you get.
And that was a real powerful thing. That was a really powerful thing because it connects to the effort to do it. When I was in college, I barely made it through biology. One sentence in biology was that long on the page and there was small print. I had friends and colleagues who could read that passage twice and I had to read every passage several times. If I stopped at 5, whose fault was it? Whose fault was it if I quit at 5? Why? Because I knew I had to read it 7 times. And therefore, at the 7th time, I got it. So I did know as much as the person next to me. I just had to go at it harder. Smart is something you get. Doing this, not because we want to be better than some other folks, and I have had to think about my own language. We're making this change because it is better for children. That's a growth mindset. We're not seeking to prove to anybody who we are or what we are. That conversation that I thought about when we were reclassified, everybody on earth had a label for us. I'm done with their labels. I'm done with their labels. Our focus is on the 3,500 children we're going to serve. And actually, if we model this mindset, they'll catch it from us. That's the growth mindset that's going to be required for us to get this work done. We have to believe we can learn how to do this. We have to believe we can plan the best model for our children that is a 180 model. We have to believe that what we don't know, we can figure out. That is going to be critical to get this work done. But we're on track to get it done. We have the resources to get it done. We have the allies to get it done. People are pulling for us to get it done. And if they end up following our lead, I'm glad for them, but that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. So the issue of the growth mindset is really critical. And again, you'll get more of that, but I just wanted to point it out to you. Carol Dweck wrote the book. Go to TED Talk. She does an amazing TED Talk about it. If you're unfamiliar with TED Talks, these amazing genius people from all over the world who have 20 minutes to explain an idea they have about life. Amazing, amazing book. But the bottom line is, it is about the reality that we have the capacity to do this. So, can you guys see this pretty well? You know what it is? Somebody shout out. What?
Picture of you surfing.
Somebody said, yeah. See the size of that wave? That's big. Look how small that surfer is in the middle of it. So I almost want to make this a metaphor. So you have to pretend you've never seen it before, because I may use this in convocation. So you have to go, oh my God, what is that? But when I was in San Francisco for a conference, I was standing on this bridge looking at these surfers. And they would see these huge waves come in and they choose which wave they wanted to go in. But when I discovered, I realized, as I took a look at them, the surfer does not make the wave. The surfer does not control the wave. What the surfer does is identify the wave. He has been practicing, or she has been practicing. They take their skills, they take the best equipment, and they ride that wave. Normandy has had wave after wave after wave. The other waves were externally motivated. When we were reclassified, we had to ride that thing. No one who came in here could really help us do it. Yes, he really could not. They didn't really know, but they knew a change had to come. As we have done all the things we've done, that's been a way. Change happens. You don't control change. You figure out how you're going to address it and how you're going to respond to it. This is us, ladies and gentlemen. We have to ride this wave. What we don't know about being a surfer, we want to learn. And we want to practice. This is the metaphor. So while everybody else may be talking about Vikings this year, I may be talking about surfing. Well, who in here knows anything about the Normandy Schools? Anybody? 7 young people in London, all genius musicians. The 20-year-old Sheku Kevin Mason performed at the Royal Wedding. And they became finalists on their version of America's Got Talent in London. They are an amazing family, and all of them are master musicians. The episode ends with the 20-year-old working with the 8-year-old, and the reporter asks the 8-year-old, says to her, you know what, Sheku says he thinks that you're going to be better than him. She just laughs at me. She says, so do I am going to be better than him. And he asked her, how do you believe that? And this is what she said. This is what she said, 8 years old. That's what she said. It just takes practice. And I love what she said. Because you don't just be amazing. 8 years old. You don't just be amazing. It takes lots of practice. And that whole family is that way. They did not consider themselves, they didn't use the word prodigy. Their teacher said they are gifted, but they work hard. They're gifted, but they work hard. That's a growth mindset. Not only must we exhibit that, but we also must communicate that to our children. That's the overview for today. Yes, ma'am.
And so, as I was reading this, I took piano as a young child. My mother was an educator, and she said, I want to give you piano lessons because I want you to always have something to practice. And I did it, and I did it, and by 16, I was like, I'm done practicing. And my parents always said, practice makes perfect. And then I went to, right here, the University of Missouri, St. Louis, majored in criminal justice, and my first criminology professor, Joe Cannon, who I love to death, said, I know you've been taught that practice makes perfect. What I want to tell you is practice makes perfect practice. It does not make perfect, but it does make perfect practice.
Phil, oh, excuse me, I broke protocol. Please. Phil, could you share the analogy you had in the world?
So the image of the surfer made me think about the World Cup. Anybody watch the World Cup? So the coach of France, the team that won, he advised his team going into the championship game. He advised his team three C's. One is to stay calm, one is to be confident, and one is to stay in concentration. And when I looked at the second image of that surfer, no matter what the size of the wave, the ability to stay calm, confident, and present in concentration really resonated with me.